Hi, welcome to Sephra's World. My name is Sephra, and this is my world. And oh my goodness, how about the Mandalorian? Oh my goodness. Now, if you have not been watching Mandalorian, just stop watching this video right now because I cannot contain myself with spoilers and so on. I started watching The Mandalorian about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I know I'm super late to the party, but for me, I love Star Wars, as we know. And so I was kind of using the series as a carrot to get my own work done, and then I could finally allow myself to sit and binge watch the show. But we're in a pandemic and it's been difficult to focus and stuff, so I finally just watched the show. So I binged watched it all. Um, and then there were two episodes left in real time for me to watch. So I'm super, super glad I did do that because of how it ended. When I was watching the first couple seasons, and I watched mostly in one day, I I really, really felt like they were planting the seeds for Luke Skywalker to make an appearance. But then I was afraid to get hopeful because of all the trauma we've been through with the three major movies that Disney put out over the last few years, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. I haven't even really done a video on Rise of Skywalker because I'm still not sure what what I think or where it goes. I do feel like Disney mismanaged that whole series in many ways, and there's a bazillion YouTubes about all that. So The Mandalorian, I really felt it when I was watching it. I got that old thrill back. Um, I was like 1977 when Star Wars came out. I was 13 or 14, and a lot of what why I went back and saw it 28 times was because it filled me with excitement. It filled me with hope and energy. It was fun and funny and very simple. I like to read. I'm a big reader, so reading books, complicated plots and stuff. But with these science fiction movies, I just like to have fun, and that's where I'm at. And so The Mandalorian captured so much of that, and of course, people may or may not complain about these things, but there are definitely a lot of jokes that, super Star Wars nerds would get, and then casual Wars nerds may or may not get. And then people who are watching The Mandalorian and have seen nothing else, it's still a completely enjoyable experience. You don't need to know all the other stuff. I love how they just keep poking fun of those stormtroopers. Yeah. Some of those, like Abbott and Costello routine and the one thing, and oh my God, it is just too funny. And because The Mandalorian is a children's movie, there isn't, even though like bodies are dropping everywhere, we're not sure if they're actually dead or not. I guess in some cases they are, but since, there's violence yet not like a lot of Star Wars properties where, there's a lot of shooting going on, but there's no blood and guts and explosions of death and that sort of thing. Well, obviously people die because, we've had lots of favorite characters die over the years. So then we got down to the last couple of episodes, and I'm like, oh my God, are they really going to bring Luke back or not? Because as anyone who knows me knows, all I've cared about for 40 years is Luke Skywalker and was bitterly disappointed. I still have some kind of trauma from The Force Awakens when we spent the whole movie looking for Luke Skywalker, the map to Skywalker. We got to find Luke, got to find Luke, got to find Luke. And just when we find him, it's over. And then the next movie, he wasn't really who we hoped. And because of that, there was such a backlash. And the reason why there was such a backlash is because we hadn't seen him in 40 years. So now The Mandalorian might be rectifying some of that. So maybe we'll feel a little better. Those of us that were kind of traumatized. Like I did like The Last Jedi. There's a lot of great stuff in The Last Jedi. But upset that they killed off Luke so fast, like in that movie, because we hadn't seen him in so long. We didn't know what he was up to. We never got to see him reunite with his friends and so on. So the Mandalorian, it's like they call him Baby Yoda. Grogu has sent a call out at the Jedi Temple for a Jedi to come and get him, to come and train him because he has to be trained by Jedi. And even though the Mandalorian, Mando, our buddy, loves this little Grogu and has battled and fought and killed to protect this baby, he does realize, as most good parents do, that ultimately you have to let the person go to grow. And so he knew that he would have to turn over Grogu to a Jedi, and Mandalorians and Jedis are enemies, or they don't get along, or whatever the lore is, right? So it's triple kind of emotional type of thing. And then so we're in the last chapter of the show, and everything's coming to a head. He's got his little Mando's got his little Grogu back. They're all hanging out in like a very stressful situation. And then we see an X-Wing arrive. And I just burst into tears when I saw that X-Wing. But then I was afraid to get excited because we saw the X-Wing in The Last Jedi. We never got to use it. And there were so many things from those three movies that I had been so excited for. And then I got kicked in the head so many times. So when I saw the X-Wing and The Mandalorian, I didn't know whether to get excited because I didn't know if I was going to get kicked in the head again. So I'm like, oh my God, it's Luke. It's Luke. It has to be Luke. They've been setting it up for Luke, but they're going to kick us in the head. I know it. And then then we see the green lightsaber, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Luke, it's Luke, it's Luke. It has to be Luke. But oh my God, they're going to subvert our expectations. But the Mandalorian hasn't subverted our expectations yet, so maybe they will. Maybe it will be Luke. And then we see the glove. We see the glove, and I'm like, oh my God, how many Jedis have to wear a glove because they got their hands chopped off by Darth Vader? It has to be Luke. And then the reveal, and it's Luke coming to get the baby. And oh my, I just bawled. I was crying through that whole scene. And yeah, it's total fan service, but this is the fan service we've been waiting for, and we just needed a little bit of fan service. And they pretty much mimic the scene from when Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One, which is one of my favorite scenes ever, and I think most people love that scene to death. Darth Vader, and then they're passing the message to Princess Leia at the end. Like, that's the best part of Rogue One, and one of the best Star Wars moments ever in history as far as I'm concerned. So they did that with Luke. So Luke, just like his father, came in and mass killed a bunch of people. And so we know this is old Luke. Well, we know it's Luke who's like 25 or whatever, because this series takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So I knew it would be young Luke. And then so that's why I was also worried that it may or may not be Luke, because it would be young Luke before he built his new Jedi temple, which Kylo Ren destroys. And we already figure Grogu has already been, was probably rescued from the Jedi school that Anakin destroyed and killed all the children, but somehow Grogu got away from that. So we're hoping Grogu doesn't go through another trauma when Luke builds his school, but we may or may not ever find out. So Luke comes and takes the baby, and it's Luke, young Luke, CGI'd, and it really was Mark Hamill. I also wasn't sure, is it Mark Hamill, is it not, is it CGI, is it that other dude they keep talking about casting, and so I was doing a bit of that in my head too while I was watching, but I was just so excited. Then R2-D2 comes on and does his bit, and that took a little long. I felt that was just a little too far with the conversation, but I was bawling and so happy. I loved it. I loved every friggin' minute of it. It was just so amazing. And I'm so happy that finally we got to see Luke do something amazing, kick some ass, do a lightsaber battle, save the baby, and get out. And I know I see a lot of people complaining that Luke came in, but if they'd actually been watching the show, they knew a Jedi had to come. And Ahsoka had already said she's not doing it for whatever her reasons are. She's not training him, and there aren't a lot of Jedi's around at that time in Return of the Jedi, right? How many Jedi's are there to pull from? So I thought they could go with an unknown Jedi, but I really had a sense that they probably would bring Luke or someone big back because of the way the series was going and written and how they were doing a lot of touchstones and callbacks. They used so much. That's the whole series of The Mandalorian uses all our favorite lines. I've got a bad feeling about this, and I've been waiting for you a long time. They do all the lines, but they don't sound cheesy and corny. They're very naturally coming out. And so, yeah, anyways, what I was trying to say is a lot of people are upset because they're worried it's going to become the Luke Skywalker show, but I don't think it is, and I don't think it will be. And I'm actually not even sure there's a season 3 of Mandalorian, to be honest. But when the series of Mandalorian continues, like Mandalorian, he's got a lot of shit to do. He's got to get that dark sword. They have to decide what they're doing with the dark saber thing. He has more missions to go on, more bounty hunting, and so on. So he'll continue his journey, and it has nothing to do with Luke Skywalker. Luke blew in, grabbed the kid, and ran. Like, that's it. And then Mandalorian will go on with his story. And I guess he may go and check on Grogu now and again. It's hard to say that if they will do that. They don't have to. So for me, I was completely happy knowing that we saw young Luke Skywalker come, kick some ass, take the baby to safety, and to train him. And that's it. He's probably not coming back. And that's fine. That's cool. I love it. I love it so much. And then for those who stayed after the credits, we saw a little teaser for the new Boba Fett series that will be coming out. I personally don't care as much about that. Oh, shoot me now, but for me, Luke's my dude, and I got to see him. And who knows, maybe if things go well, they will do that Luke Skywalker show that I always wanted to see my whole life. Because, they keep saying, oh, the big movies are the Skywalker saga. But really, are they? I was thinking about that last night when I was reading some reviews about The Mandalorian and people, oh, now they have to bring the Skywalker saga into Mandalorian, which I don't think they're doing. But I will say that I'm not convinced that the new 3 Disney movies are the Skywalker saga. Because in the first movie, we don't even see Luke till the end of it. No one's a Skywalker. It would have made sense if Rey turned out to be a Skywalker, then it would be and we know Rey was supposed to be a Skywalker. They just screwed it up. Rian Johnson screwed it up, or whoever the powers that be that make the final decisions. It isn't Rian Johnson. It's the room of people that make the decisions. So whatever reasons they chose from what was an obvious setup of Rey being Kylo's cousin. I've been waiting for you a long time. At last we meet. He knew all about her. She was hidden away so that her cousin wouldn't kill her. When the temple school went down, and that's always been what I've thought, and that's what I'll continue to say. So that would have made this a Skywalker trilogy, but it's not. So we go through this whole movie looking for Luke Skywalker. Then they find him, and then we don't even know why they were looking. We don't to this day, we don't know why we spent a whole movie looking for Luke Skywalker, and why he sent a map, and why he chose that time to have people find him. There was obviously a reason. We never really got it because the story just went wee in another direction. So then in the last movie, like, there's no Skywalker, so it wasn't a Skywalker trilogy. It was a Palpatine trilogy by the end of it all, because in the third movie they suddenly decide Palpatine's something. So it's Ray Palpatine. So anyways, my point being, that wasn't Skywalker trilogy, and The Mandalorian isn't a Skywalker story, so people can just stop rustling their feathers about Skywalkers taking over, because they're really not if you think about it. So I was totally thrilled with Mandalorian. I highly suggest you watch it if you haven't yet, and I just cried and cried. I cried. I have to rewatch it again because I was crying so hard, just so happy to finally see Luke, finally get the payoff I've been waiting 40 years for, and seeing Luke kicking ass, seeing Luke just coming in like that, that X-Wing, that all of it. And it was built up so perfectly. The music, they put in like some of the original themes when Luke showed up, which of course makes us cry harder, all us nerds that, love this. Yeah, sure, it's pandering. So what? Like, shouldn't we enjoy stories? Do stories always have to be traumatic and make us upset and angry? Like, why can't we just have a nice story like what The Mandalorian did for us, which was just have some fun. Let's just shoot some stuff, see our heroes, rescue a baby, have some conflict, make some decisions, and it's fun. And I felt like it's what I'd always felt Star Wars was. This Mandalorian series is what I always felt Star Wars was, and what appealed to me as a teenager and stayed with me my whole life was just the fun, the humor, the music, good guys, bad guys, people making choices that might be unexpected, like the Mandalorian handing over the baby, or even the fact that the Mandalorian loved the baby. So much fun. Anyways, I just had to chime in with my opinion on all of this, and I didn't cry for this video. I thought I might, but I didn't. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. What did you think? Put your comments below. Bye.